Am I the asshole for not allowing my girlfriend to send her food back for a second time? I, 28 male, work the graveyard shift as a corrections officer in a prison. I've been dating my girlfriend, 26 female, for just under a year now. About once a week or so some of my coworkers and I like to stop at a local diner to get a bite to eat on the way home. They are very accommodating to us COs and well as our brother cops and other people who work the third shift at an area factory as we give them a lot of business. They happily make burgers, sandwiches, nachos, etc. for us first thing in the morning, which we are all very appreciative of since it's evening time to us. So, the other day I felt like stopping after work. None of my buddies wanted to go, so I texted my girlfriend to see if she wanted me to treat her to breakfast before work. She said that she did, and so we met at the diner. We both ordered the eggs, hash browns, bacon, toast combo. She ordered her eggs, halfway between over easy and over medium, and her bacon, chewy. Not crispy but not limp. When the food came she decided that her eggs were too close to medium. She told the server that she wanted them, mostly easy but just barely starting to set on the outside so that there are no runny whites. The server took her food back. I was slightly embarrassed because her food was just fine and was what she asked for from what I could see, but I didn't say anything. When the food came the second time she decided that her eggs were still overdone, even though they looked less done than her first batch. The server offered to bring her food back but I interjected, "No, the food's fine. They did a good job. She'll eat it." Long story short, when we left the restaurant we got into a huge fight. She had to work so we didn't have much of a chance to discuss it, but when she came over later she laid into me about how I had treated her like a child, and said that I had no right to decide for her whether or not her order was right. She then accused me of caring more about the server than her and implied that I wanted to have an affair with her, which is crazy since she's at least 40 and I'm pretty sure married with kids. I shot back that she was being way too demanding, that it was embarrassing since I was a regular there, that they did a perfectly good job with her food. It wasn't as if she'd asked for over easy and they gave her scrambled, that it wasn't fair for the restaurant to lose money over her being so picky, etc. The way I see it, if you are going to ask someone else to cook your food you have to give them at least a little leeway. But I can kind of understand what she meant when she said that I had treated her like a child. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole, and if she's that picky about her eggs she shouldn't order them. It's very annoying to restaurant staff. Not the asshole, she was treated like a child because of the way she was acting. I'd have been embarrassed too even if I wasn't a regular there, and then she randomly accuses you of wanting an affair? This is such odd behavior. Does she think it's normal to be that specific in restaurants? It's like something out of When Harry Met Sally. Not the asshole. The way she was asking for her eggs, it sounds like she needed to be in the kitchen to tell them the exact moment to take them off the stove. Not plausible in a restaurant. It also seems like that could have gone on for ages, with each batch of eggs being a little too done or a little too undercooked. Best to nip it in the bud as you did. You did basically treat her like a child. However, I find people who are overly picky and demanding like that ridiculous, and her accusing you of being interested in the server is bonkers. She's way more of an asshole here. It is ridiculous and rude to send your food back twice over something like how eggs are cooked like that. It's not like they came back scrambled. She also should have been considering that you're a regular there. Then she upped the ridiculousness by accusing you of an affair. Even if she's 95% the asshole, it doesn't excuse your 5%. Talking over somebody and making decisions for them no matter their gender or relationship with you is wrong and condescending. She's not a child. If she wants to make a fool of herself, let her. You could have just let her be an ass and apologized to the server for her behavior right there. She would probably still be mad, but she'd be 100% in the wrong then. Not the asshole. This isn't a controlling, make her do as you see fit. She's being way too selective and you are fairly assessing the situation. How does she handle every other meal out? Cut a steak and send it back because I said medium rare and this pink clearly indicates it was cooked 30 seconds longer than I desired. Sounds insufferable. You don't get to control your girlfriend. If you're embarrassed of your girlfriend, act like an adult and discuss it with her or break up. Don't speak over her or for her. No wonder people who frequent your diner have such terrible divorce and abuse rates. Not the asshole. She was definitely in the wrong and being too specific. My husband and I are pretty fussy about breakfast food. So we try not to eat it out. If we get invited to a restaurant, cafe for brekkie or brunch, we order something like a toastie or waffles which we like but don't care too much about. We don't get into our specifics and annoy the chefs and waiters just because we like things a certain way. Yes, paying someone money entitles you to quality, but how demanding should you actually be? You are not the arsehole. Info. Is this usually how she acts when you go out to eat together? Everyone sucks here. She was being way too demanding of the restaurant, full stop. Also, you handled her bad behavior poorly. You didn't discuss it with her at all and overruled her to a third party. Yes, your girlfriend was way too picky about the eggs and over the line with the things she said during the argument. You did treat her like a child when you told the waitress instead of your girlfriend that the food was fine and she would eat it. Had you told your girlfriend she was being too picky and just eat it, you'd be NTA. She should probably just make her own eggs. Not the asshole. I wouldn't go out to eat with someone who acted that way ever again. Not the asshole. Also, the fact that she jumped to your cheating on me is a huge red flag. She may be projecting her own indiscretions onto you. You may want to consider you may not be the only person in her life. Additionally, if she is willing to treat a server, and you in this way, it's pretty alarming to say the least. Do you believe her behavior will really change? Take a long hard look at the next few years and decide if this is the life you want to live. Do not assume she will change. Ask if you love her enough to live with it. Sure, she was being a picky customer, but the way you interjected was very rude. You did treat her like a child, and if I was wait staff, my opinion of you wouldn't have changed until you made a grown woman's mind up for her. She's the bigger asshole, but she's also her own person and you don't have the authority to decide what she eats. If she wants to be an asshole, you can't stop her. You can discuss it with her like two equals, but it is controlling to decide things for her. Okay, I've been a server for years, and these are the fried egg options: US, sunny side up, over easy, over medium and over well, hard. This is already a spectrum. Ordering in between these is a dick move, not the asshole for siding with the server. On another note, I think your girlfriend thinks over easy and sunny side up are the same thing. They're not, but common enough misunderstanding. Mostly easy but no runny whites is over easy. If there were runny whites, it would be sunny side up. Therefore, her eggs were going to seem overdone every time because she was getting exactly what she ordered. Overdone, over easy eggs, between OE and OM. Next time, tell her to just order over easy. While I don't agree with her decision, it was not your food. Not your call. You did treat her like a child and were openly disrespectful to her, while she was inconsiderate of the fact that every time she sent back her food, it forced you to choose between eating without her and letting your food get cold. Not to mention possibly backing up the kitchen. I realize you appreciate the staff and don't want to cause them trouble, but you did put your concern for them over your concern for your girlfriend. And I doubt her behavior was all that uncommon there, as people can be very particular about their eggs. She got personal, aggressive with you over freaking diner eggs. You can really find out a lot about people from how they treat workers in the service industry, and this interaction is problematic to say the least. Not the asshole. Your girlfriend is a huge PETA who throws fussy power trips at restaurants. Don't go out to eat with her. But she has a point that you were being controlling. Maybe you are too used to dealing with prisoners. I'm guessing you wouldn't be okay with your girlfriend speaking not only for you, but about you in the third person, while you sat right there. If you were here with friends, would you go above their request and tell them no? The audacity to tell someone they can't make a request. Your wife is also an asshole for being that picky with her eggs, but you married this person. Y'all are perfect for each other. Your girlfriend does seem to be being overly picky about her eggs, and I don't blame you for being annoyed, and her response about the affair is obviously over the top and bananas. But your girlfriend was right that saying, no, she'll eat that, to a server while pretending your girlfriend isn't right there in front of you is treating her like a child. I would definitely prickle at my husband telling any third party that she'd do anything while I was standing right there in their earshot. If you'd asked the server to give you a minute and then been like, look, this place is important to me and you're being ridiculous. Please stop sending your food back and eat these perfectly decent eggs, she'd be the only asshole in the scenario. Not the asshole. Her behavior was overly picky and entitled. Not cool at all. Not everything can be totally perfect all through life. She apparently doesn't know what she wants, but you don't get to decide what other people order and do or don't send back for any reason. You only get to decide if you want to speak to that person about it or no longer eat with that person. Her for not realizing a diner isn't going to make you the perfect eggs. You for patronizing and talking over her. Instead of telling her how the situation made you feel, you treated her like a child and made decisions for her. You're lucky she didn't clap back at you in the restaurant, because I sure as hell would have. Not the asshole I would have been squirming with embarrassment. Your girlfriend needs to be more lenient in situations like this. You both sound like asses, to be honest. She needs to get a grip and realize it's nearly impossible to cook eggs to the exact second of perfection for someone else. I've been a breakfast cook in a restaurant and it's hard. And you need to learn to tell your girlfriend you feel uncomfortable with her actions instead of acting like you're her dad and talking over her. I was going to say cause only she knows how she likes her eggs, and if you're paying someone to cook your food then it should be how you like it. But to accuse you of wanting to sleep with the server over it? That's pure drama right there, so you get a not the asshole. I can't stand drama. Why is not allowing in quotations when you actually didn't allow her to send her food back? You are the asshole. So here's the tricky thing. Speaking as someone in the service industry, you are correct. When ordering at a restaurant you should give a little leeway. Though if the customer is being nice and asking that something be fixed, then it's usually not a big deal. Unless the restaurant is just slammed with people, then it's just annoying, but it happens. However, you did treat her like a child by interjecting the way you did. She did overreact when y'all fought about it by claiming you wanted to have an affair with the server. I'm going with everyone sucks here because you both could have and should have handled it differently. You are the asshole. From what I can see, the girlfriend was being excessively picky, but it sounds like she and the server were handling it just fine between the two of them and she wasn't being aggressive or rude to the waitstaff. If you have an issue with her demands or communication style, bring that up with her, but don't overrule her to a third party in public. If you're a regular, you can even apologize to the waitstaff next time you go. As for the fight, I am shocked that no one else has pointed out that your response to being accused of wanting to cheat isn't that you simply would not cheat, but that woman is too old. It sounds like her cheating accusation might not exist in a vacuum. Everyone sucks here, you for interjecting and her for being so damn picky about eggs. I'm sympathetic to your position, I really am, but she's a grown-ass adult, dude. You don't get to make her decisions for her, even if she's doing stuff you think is dumb or embarrassing. Except the poor kitchen staff, lol. I'm going to go against the grain and say you are the asshole. You embarrassed her. Maybe she was being unreasonable, however it was her food and her decision. You had no right to interject. If you don't like the way she is at restaurants, then do not go out to eat with her. If she is too picky for you with her food, then break up with her, but don't treat her like a child. She is an adult and she gets to decide how she wants her food and how she wants to eat it. The restaurant can either decide to remake it for her or tell her to go to hell. What you did was demeaning and rude to your girlfriend. Everyone sucks here. Mostly your girlfriend, because it wasn't worth sending food back a second time, and she seemed to be leaning towards it. It sounds as though it's something she's ordered before. Either she goes to a restaurant that happens to do it the way she's used to, or she has this problem pretty regularly. Either way, the expectation that they'd be able to do it from her description this time was unreasonable. You were talking down to her in the way that you spoke to the server. There were other ways to communicate the same thing without doing that. Also, you left a good tip, right? Your girlfriend probably should be more considerate of people making her food. But you are also definitely the asshole. You don't talk for someone else when they're trying to speak for themselves. Maybe that's something you're used to at your job that would make you treat your partner like this, but the only person you're allowed to make decisions for yourself. You did treat her like a child, and you undermined her in public. She has every right to be hurt by your actions. What she was doing was not directed at you, even if it was embarrassing you. But what you did basically told her and everyone around you, excuse me, I know better than her. She'll do what I tell her. That's controlling and a terrible dynamic for a relationship. Edit. Misspelling. You are the asshole. I was on your team, more or less, up to, no, the food's fine. They did a good job. She'll eat it. That's not how adults talk about each other. Everyone sucks here. Yup, she was a jerk for being so particular about eggs, but you were a jerk to intervene. You should apologize. Everyone sucks here. She was being overly picky, but you're not her daddy. Even if she is behaving poorly, she's still a grown woman who gets to make her own decisions about her own food. You should have appealed to her sense of reason rather than making a decision for her. Esh. You shouldn't have talked for her as she is an adult capable of conveying her own requests. But your girlfriend is definitely overreacting. It is very embarrassing when the person you're eating with keeps sending food back. Also, she's insane. That's how you get a loogie in your food. Who orders bacon and eggs in such a specific way? It's bacon and eggs, dude. You get crispy or limp for bacon and then one of the like 5 different ways the eggs can get cooked. If she needs then done such a specific way, don't order the eggs, lol. Esh. You shouldn't have spoken for her and she shouldn't have accused you of having an affair. Everyone sucks here her for expecting her meal prepared specifically with unspecific directions and opt for, yes, treating her like a child. If she wants to be that irritating customer, she's an adult and that's between her and the owner of the cafe. Opt made a unilateral decision on her behalf. What gives him that right? That he's paying for the meal? I'm not sure being publicly dismissed by your boyfriend is worth a $10.12 breakfast. Esh. Your girlfriend has unreasonable expectations from a diner and needs to seriously get over it. You, however, are also the asshole because you minimized her and treated her like a child in front of other people. That is asshole behavior. If you'd said something just to your girlfriend privately, you would have been fine. Heck, I would have been fine with it if you'd said to her, if you send that food back again, I'm never going to eat in a restaurant with you again. Brother cops. You are the asshole. Esh. I'm embarrassed for you too. Talk with her privately, tip well when she's embarrassing, and consider whether it's worth bringing her back if she's going to continue to be that way. Esh. You can, and should, have been embarrassed, angry at your GF, and felt empathy for the restaurant staff. You could have expressed either of those in words to either parties, but when you start making decisions for other adults, especially in a patronizing way, you become the asshole as well. Not the asshole, she sucks. I would have been mortified being with someone that ordered their food like that and expected perfection. I'd have the same reaction you did. That topped with the jealously tantrum are huge red flags. If she can't handle imperfect eggs and chooses to escalate the issue, how is she going to be during truly stressful life situations? You might want to rethink this relationship. She's at least 40 and I'm pretty sure married with kids. What?